Week presented by Lowe's. Here in Paradise, college basketball coming your way. Semifinal number 2. We had a brilliant game in game 1, and it's brought to you by Bad Boy Mowers. The battle for Atlantis. Number 22, Tennessee, taking on USC. Here's the bracket. I mentioned the game in overtime. Bobby Pettiford, as the clock was ticking down in OT with a putback, Kansas escapes, and USC taking on Tennessee. Welcome courtside. Happy Thanksgiving. John Chomby and Jimmy Dykes. Hope you're well wherever you are and starting to get some turkey in you. All right, we got our second game. We certainly got stuffed with basketball in that first game. Let's take a look at USC and talk about Boogie Ellis, a guy who's coming off matching his career high and played a really big part in the win over BYU.
Yeah, that first game today, though, was an instant classic, was it not, with Kansas over Wisconsin? I think it will be just as tight of a ball game. Boogie Ellis is a really tough scoring lead guard for Southern Cal. I know you like the kid because you like his name, but he had 27 last night, ties his career high. He's a big physical guard that wins the battle to the elbows. He's got the pull-up mid-range shot. He's tough around the rim, finishing and scoring, plays with a lot of confidence. That combination of Boogie Ellis and Drew Peterson is hard to guard. If you're Tennessee today, you better be locked in. I thought this kid, Julian Phillips, last night, Boog, was kind of the difference in the game. He made some tough plays, only had 11 points and 6 boards, but as a true freshman, he's starting to figure it out. A former 5-star recruit, a McDonald's All-American that Rick Barnes trusts to put in that starting lineup. He had a big game, and boy, the better he gets, the better Tennessee gets as this year goes on.
We get set to go, and wow, that Kansas game, Kansas-Wisconsin, what a finish. And there's Rick Barnes, 8 years head coach at Tennessee. He's done great work there. And they continue, I mean, he's got a winning record over Kentucky, and they continue to grow and improve, and they should be really good again this year.
Well, they didn't play well against Colorado a couple weeks ago in Nashville. And they came into that ball game, Boog, Tennessee did, attempting about 38 three-point shots per game. Since then, Rick's kind of dialed it back. They're only averaging 17 three-point shots a game. A lot better balance to their offense.
A lot of pressure as Como was out up top on White. And Peterson, USC starting lineups brought to you by Paradise Island. Dixon, Waters, Ellis, Peterson, White, and Morgan. That's Peterson being contested. Plavcic, the rebound. And Key up ahead, Vescovi. And back tap from Peterson out of bounds. How about the Tennessee starting lineups? Julian Phillips, you mentioned, a freshman. Tyree Key, Olivier Kamwa, Santiago Vescovi, and Uros Plavcic. Vescovi in and out, and a rebound pulled down by Morgan.
Drew Peterson, 13 in white for Southern Cal, he's all of 6'8", 6'9", and Vescovi has a real challenge guarding this kid.
Yeah, Peterson's Tater, and they get the foul on Tyree Key. And it'll be 3 free throws for Boogie Ellis. Andy Enfield, 10th year after leaving Florida Gulf Coast. And his lone loss this year was against Florida Gulf Coast.
They lost in the NCAA first round last year, lead 8 in 2021. The largest lead of the game right now for Southern Cal, by the way. But Southern Cal trying to get to their 3rd straight NCAA, which would be the best run in program history right there with it. The talent level that Andy has brought in and continues to bring in when you consider Isaiah Collier committed to USC last week, one of the best players in this year's freshman and senior class in high school.
Yeah, in their starting lineup, Trey White, 4-star recruit, and is number 31 overall in the ESPN 100. Paul Biancardi and company do such a great job with the recruiting work. Inside, Phillips contested, loose ball, and it ends up with Peterson. Peterson will do a little bit of everything. He goes to the baseline. He's got the freshman Trey White on him. Off the glass, and that rattles home.
Really a soft touch by a big guard backing down, kind of like Jalen Brunson used to do for Villanova. Just plays out of the post. Good job by Key. Southern Cal in man-to-man defense to start with. They played a ton of zone last night against BYU.
Little floater. Ellis won't go, and Key to rebound, and they get the Memphis transfer with the foul. His given first name, Rajon, goes by Boogie. Me too.
I think if he was in the room with you, though, and someone said, hey, Rajon, I don't even think he'd turn around. Do you?
Probably not. At least according to him.
Tennessee will off-ball screen you to death. Their movement off the ball and their screening action is physical and hard for 40 minutes.
And a foul inside. Phillips will go to the line. Julian Phillips, McDonald's All-America, originally was committed to LSU, and then when Will Wade was fired, he reopened his recruiting. 13th overall player in that freshman class.
Well, he's the 4th McDonald's All-American under Rick Barnes at Tennessee. That versatile big wing that you kind of think projecting maybe like a Chris Middleton type guy at the next level, but it's not easy to break into the starting lineup as a true freshman. Kennedy Chandler did it last year, former McDonald's All-American, the point guard spot, and Rick Barnes trusts 2 in Orange enough to put him in that lineup this year.
Kennedy's got a little bit of run with Memphis this year. Peterson backing down, good feed inside, and he finds Morgan.
Well, Drew Peterson is a tough cover. I know Morgan finished off the play, but Peterson's doggedness to drive the ball and spin and get the pass off. Because Vescovi fought him with all he had, just wasn't enough.
Combo backing down, had it blocked. Morgan got a piece. Peterson pushing ahead.
The really weak shot attempt by Combo.
Ellis inside, flips it in.
He's got it all, Boog. He's got that floater package, those tough twos. The 3 balls falling at a good clip for him this year at 47%. One of the better players in the Pac-12.
Phillips drills a 3. And Tennessee has the lead.
He, to me, looks a lot different than he did 2 weeks ago in Nashville against Colorado. Not sure of himself, not sure of his voice, not sure of his actions and his spots on the floor. Those days are gone. This kid's playing.
Bobčić with the rebound. Now, one of the guys that you'd expect to make a big impact for Tennessee is out right now. Josiah Jordan-James. Still waiting to see if he's going to feel good enough to play. I mean, he tried to warm up. He is dressed for the game, but right now on the bench. Tennessee leading it by a point in the early going. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Bad Boy Mowers. Builds a better mower. Mow with an attitude. Atlantis, Paradise Island, Bahamas at heart. And Movement, the cleanest watches in the game. Volunteers leading early, 15:53 to go first half. Happy Thanksgiving. Tennessee by a point. How about this 3 knockdown from Phillips?
Well, it's the first 3-point make of the season so far for Julian Phillips. He came in 0 for 8, but he shoots the ball much better than what those numbers show. Sometimes it just takes a freshman time to kind of find their rhythm, but boy, he is a super talent to follow up the super talents that Rick Barnes has brought in, from Josiah Jordan-James, who's out for today, we just found out, but he was a McDonald's All-American. Jaden Springer, Kennedy Chandler, those guys were there for 1 year. And Julian Phillips is maybe tracking that same path. But he wakes up with a plan every day, Rick Barnes told me, in terms of he seeks out help, he watches film, lives in the weight room, lives in that training room, taking care of his body. And guys like that, just they find a way to figure it out and maximize who they're supposed to be. He's one of them.
He knocks down the free throw. Zakai Ziegler getting set to check in for Tennessee. Phillips tries to spin it in, can't do it. And now Dixon Waters, a turnover, and it'll be Tennessee basketball.
Boog, you can get away with spinning at the rim in high school, but not at this level. And then Julian Phillips will figure it out. He's got to go in there in that type of traffic with the intention of getting fouled. And that time he just spun his way out of getting fouled.
And now Zakai Ziegler has checked in. He'll be the smallest guy on the floor, the quickest guy on the floor.
Nice
inside, great look. Adu finding Kamwa.
Adu got valuable minutes last night in their quarterfinal win. He's a 6'11" kid. Rick Barnes not afraid to play he and Klopchich or he and Kamwa together right now.
Trey White looking for some space, gives off to Kobe Johnson. Right now, Boogie Ellis on the bench as he has picked up 2 early fouls. Shot clock winding down. Peterson driving, shoots. And a good rebound from Johnson. Left hand puts it in.
Yeah, really good offensive rebound out of his space by Kobe Johnson. His brother Jalen Johnson, who played a year at Duke. Brother was taken number 20 in the draft, I think, back in 21. Here's this zone that Tennessee's going to have to handle a lot of this ball game.
Adu can't hit, loose ball, and he comes away with it. Kamwa, it's a 2.
He's got a good stroke. I know he starts as a 5 guy a lot of times, but we got Adu occupying the middle of that zone. Now Kamwa slips to the outside. 4 perimeter threats in their zone offense right now for the Vols.
Foul on Kamwa.
We watch Adu right here with establishes that deep post position and finds Kamwa, who just slips to the rim, double team of the ball, and Kamwa reads it well.
Shot short from Reese Dixon Waters, and here come the Volunteers. Tennessee leading by 4.
Yeah, Ziegler right in the middle of his shot preparation. On the year, the guy that Ziegler is guarding, 5 in orange, is shooting 25% on the year. The guy that he guards.
Peterson fires, the 3 won't fall. Ziegler the rebound.
You better make those if you're going to take those tough ones early against Tennessee.
Zakai Ziegler is so much fun to watch. Just that quickness, plays with a lot of flair and energy.
He changed the program's toughness, which was tough before he got there last year when he arrived in Knoxville late summer.
Jermaine Mashack with a nice move.
That's a big offensive hit right now to Southern Cal with Boogie Ellis on the bench. A lot of pressure on Peterson.
All right, Phil Knight Invitational, the men's bracket quarterfinal feature North Carolina, #1 overall against Portland, Villanova and Iowa State, UConn and Oregon, and then a battle between Alabama and Michigan. Did you have a philosophy coaching-wise across the board as it related to 2 fouls in the first half?
It depended on who the player was, to be honest with you. And I think every coach operates like that. But early, I mean, that was 2 early ones on Boogie Ellis. He got no choice but to take him down and at least sit him down for a few minutes. If the game gets out of hand, you got to put him back in.
Mashack with the bucket.
Tennessee so aggressive They try to own the first 3 seconds of every possession by getting the ball to the elbow and playing off of it. They put the ball on you so fast as an offensive unit.
White to the corner. Peterson. Pass intercepted. Good work there by Adu.
Yeah, and spectacular one-on-one defense by Santi Vescovi.
Vescovi launches. And a rebound pulled down by Johnson.
Tennessee's got USC playing sped up on the offensive end. Even their open looks are rushed.
Out of bounds. And it'll stay with Tennessee. Our under 12 timeout. When we come back, Jonas Adu and Jemai Mashak take us on a little tour here in Atlantis.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
Been there, done that, Boog, I'm telling you.
They had no idea that they're going to be up for an Emmy.
It's appropriately named Leap of Faith.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. Right through the Sharks as well.
I went down that the last time we were here.
Yep.
Will not be doing it again. It was my promise.
You're one and done?
It was my promise to my goddaughter, and that's that. Oh boy. If you're just joining us, where you been? Happy Thanksgiving. We had a good one, semifinal number 1. You know, good semi.
Replaying it on the air.
That's correct. It's already somewhere on ESPN Classic. Is that still a thing?
It should be after that one.
John Rothstein,
Yeah.
college basketball insider. He got a noise complaint from his doorman because he yelled so loud.
I would say it's been the game of the year. Not because we were calling it. That was really spectacular how that thing finished and the fight back ability of Wisconsin.
Johnson the other way. I'd say it was the game of the year because we were calling.
That added a little bit.
Tennessee by 5. Lob here. It was a little far out for Kobe Johnson. He got his hand on it. Johnny right into the game for USC as Adu can't hit.
That is not the three-point shot that Rick Barnes wants out of Adu in transition.
And a bucket there for Reese Dixon Waters.
Good job by Reese Dixon Waters to shot fake and get Ziegler out of the play. Took up the slack, knocked down a tough 2. And now this big zone by USC. It's kind of a 4-1 zone, kind of a lifted zone like Syracuse as those forwards will come up high on the floor.
Combo, soft touch. He's got 6 in the early going, Olivier Kamwa, the senior from Finland. And they'll go offensive foul on Malik Thomas.
Kai Ziegler is a defensive disruptor. And on the ball, man, he can change the complexion of the game as good as anybody out there. He's low and plays low. Quick, strong, tough. Hard to knock him out of the way. And I'll say it again, the guy that Ziegler is guarding so far this year is shooting 25%. That's an incredibly low one-on-one number.
He's a guy that reclassified and was, I believe, the last guy added to their recruiting class, and he made quite an impact last year. Klopchich is fouled.
Well, Kai Ziegler has that neighborhood playground blacktop toughness about him out of New York. Look at those New York City point guards: Kenny Smith, Nate Archibald, Kimball Walker, Pearl Washington, Stephon Marbury. Keep going down the list.
So now my guy when I was in high school is Kenny Anderson.
There you go. There's my
Phillips
guy.
inside and puts it home.
You know, I sat on that baseline last night underneath that basket watching Tennessee play. I just saw a completely different confidence in how he carries himself on the floor as opposed to a couple of weeks ago. He is figuring it out on the fly.
Johnson can't hit. Klopchich the board. Ziegler up ahead. Finds Key and a really good contest from Kobe Johnson. And now Thomas. Right off the glass and in. Kajani Wright to deuce.
I like Kajani Wright. That's one of the better rebounders in that 2022 class. Just a true freshman. Boogie Ellis set to check in at the next dead ball.
Feed inside, Kamwa.
That's a really good pass by Klopchich. You're talking about a 7'2" kid that caught that ball, was patient, the ability to bounce it on time.
And the layup is good for Kobe Johnson. And again, when the ball touches Drew Peterson's hands, usually good decisions are made.
Absolutely, he's a special talent.
Drew Peterson to transfer from Rice. There's a turnover. And that time, Peterson traveled. 6 turnover on USC. They're down 5, 8:23 to go.
Now Boogie Ellis back in with 2 fouls. And he's probably going to try to get 3 or 4 minutes out of him right now. I doubt if he tries to ride him for the next 8:23 to half, but can you get 3 or 4 out of him? Zone will help Boogie Ellis stay out of foul trouble. It should.
Klopchich right at the free throw line, now puts it on the floor. Finds Phillips, and they go 3 seconds on Kamwa.
After that Colorado loss, I talked to Rick Barnes 2 days later. He said, I had a strong one-way conversation with Ziegler, Santi Vescovi, and Josiah Jordan-James, how selfishly we played in that game. And they have been a different team since that conversation.
Vescovi. And the tip is good from Julian Phillips.
Did we put him in the open?
Yes, we did. Whose idea was it to put him in the open?
To pat somebody on the back, but he impacts the game in so many ways. That big 6'8" wing, man. Largest lead. Just is not the largest lead.
Ellis knocks it down as he's back in with those 2 fouls. He hits the triple.
Because they're playing zone, Boog, I said that Andy might try to get 3 or 4 minutes out of Boogie Ellis. You might ride him now for the rest of the half.
Vescovi. And it comes out, and Boogie Ellis has it.
He's probably more prone to pick up one offensively than he is defensively right now, Boogie Ellis. Talking about a 3rd foul.
Morgan working on Klopchich. Loose ball, Morgan offensive rebound. And now Peterson wanders inside, bounce pass, Klopchich, good hands.
Good hands, wasn't it for a 7'1" guy? Because he had his hands up as Drew came at him, man. The quick hands like a defensive guard to swallow up that ball.
Kamwa can't hit in close. And Boogie Ellis and the Trojans will move it up the court. Closing in on that 6-minute mark. USC down 4. The winner meets Kansas in our championship. Klopchich almost with a steal. Layup wouldn't go, but that putback from Kobe Johnson will. Dixon Waters went down hard. Kobe Johnson has 9.
And if you can't guard the bounce, bad things happen to you. Your defense gets put in a rotation. You give up those offensive rebounds as much as anything else.
Loose ball, they get a foul. Two-point game.
Even the Dolphins loved game one. I mean, he just hadn't learned this since the game ended. That's how thrilled he was with that overtime thriller.
Back here, semifinal number 2, first half, and with 5:22 to go, Tennessee leads it by a deuce. If you missed it, Wisconsin and Kansas played a great one in our first semifinal. Tyler Wall in the second half was ferocious. Wisconsin overcame a 15-point deficit. End of regulation. Clements missed the shot, got the rebound, kicked to McCullough, knocked down a 3, and we went to overtime. Wall going to work. Got his own miss, put it in, and was fouled. Tyler Wall in the second half and overtime was great. Then gets that bucket as he went to work. Clements with time running down. Look at this. Pettiford, the putback to win it. And Kansas victorious for Bobby Pettiford, his only points of the game. And Kansas awaiting the winner of this one. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that right up there with the game of the year so far in college basketball, if not the game of the year, when you consider Wisconsin was down 15, right?
Yep.
And fought their way back against the defending national champions. And boy, just play after play down the stretch between Tyler Wall and Jalen Wilson turned into something special. The putback by Pettiford at the end was, the degree of difficulty on that was about a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
To put that reverse spin on it, he won the foot race to the ball and chases Kansas right into the championship game tomorrow night.
The other thing, too, with that putback is he caught it while in the air and put it home. He didn't jump.
Didn't have time for anything else.
Boogie Ellis, that's a 3.
Woogie, 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 huh? Stay in the zone. Boogie Ellis probably stays in the game till halftime.
Meshack swings Vescovi, and now Key back to Vescovi.
That's the first middle flash that Tennessee's had by Phillips. He turned down a shot and took it right into traffic.
Meshack steals it away. Key back. Vescovi lines it up. And a big rebound for Adu. Back to Adu. Left hand, in and out, put back, that'll go.
Boy, the ability of a 7-footer to shoot it and go get it. So valuable at any level, but Adu, he's starting to figure this college basketball game out as well on the fly. He and Phillips can change this Tennessee team.
And there's Boogie Ellis again. And Ellis now with a dozen.
That's just Andy Enfield knowing his guy. The Boogie Ellis can come in and still play aggressively on one end and not pick up a crazy one. Because he's playing with foul trouble and he's not more than just filling a spot.
Out of bounds, and it belongs to USC when we come back. Good one so far. Tennessee leading it by a point. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Lowe's. It is the best place to get everything you need for the holidays. Yeah.
That's about it.
You've always been known as a flopper, just like C-Ball. Loose ball, what do we got? And yeah, possession arrow, and it belongs to Tennessee.
Boog, I think this is interesting. Tennessee has an assist rate on the year of 71% of their made baskets come off of an assist. Only Virginia and Xavier have a higher assist rate. And today, Tennessee with 7 assists on 11 makes, they're tracking that same 71-ish percent.
It's good math out of you.
I'm not a math major, but it's somewhere high, right?
Yeah. No, you're right there with it. So under 3.5 to go here, first half. Tennessee by a point.
The first zone offense that Tennessee's had to run this year over an extended period of time. And we all know you got to flash to that middle part of the floor, get some driving kickouts. You can't just settle for jump shots. And by the way, it's a pretty long, big zone by Southern Cal.
Vescovi, baseline, and that rattles home.
Tough shot. You had to dribble yourself into a 14-foot jump shot on the baseline. A left-handed guy on the left corner almost was behind the backboard that blocked his own shot.
Loose ball. And now an air ball, and that one on the floor. And they get a foul on USC. I believe they got Johnny Wright.
Johnny Wright played high school ball at Sierra Canyon with Bronny James, McDonald's All-American, and one of, if not the best rebounder probably in that 2022 class. You look at those freshmen that Andy Enfield has brought in, and we touched on the fact he got a commitment from Isaiah Collier, who's only a 6'3" kid out of Marietta, Georgia. Most consider him the #1 player in the 2020 class. He'll be wearing that Trojan uniform next year.
Johnny Wright, number 41 overall recruit in the ESPN 100. Physical guy, high motor. Peterson gets rid of it quickly. Johnson advancing it. Peterson bodying up for Vescovi to give off here. And the freshman White books that one. That's a tough shot.
Yeah, just went and got it. I mean, you have to have the ability against both these ball clubs at some point. Maybe 3 or 4 possessions each half. Just somebody go get us one. Defense is too good and too tough.
Phillips with the jumper.
Yeah, he's starting to feel like he's the best player on the floor. And come January, February in the SEC, he might be that for the Tennessee Volunteers.
He's got 13. Ellis off the mark. Loose ball, rebound right, and gets it out. Ellis tries another. Peterson the rebound. And they get a foul. And that'll be on Jemai Meshack. Phil Knight Invitational as you take a peek at the women's semifinals. North Carolina and Oregon. That's coming up 5 Eastern at ESPNU. And then to follow on the U, it'll be Iowa State and Michigan State.
Boogie, I'm gonna call you Boogie also the rest of the broadcast. Boogie.
I've had it happen.
Drew Peterson, #2 scorer for Southern Cal. Leads him in rebounds, leads him in assists.
Meshack leads it up ahead. Wow! And the throwdown.
And a foul.
And one. Morgan fouled him.
Pretty good going on a slide and pretty good in the open floor. Try Meshack. I mean, right there, Morgan just got to let him go. You're playing defense from behind the entire time. You're going up against an athlete. Morgan hammers him on top of the head. That's the right call. A really big play for Tennessee, now up 7. Look, watch Jemai Meshack. He just turns it into a foot race to the ball. A lot of teams run that play where they just try to pop their big out, kind of make a lazy pass. You can't get away with it against Tennessee. They smelled that thing out and said, if Southern Cal gets to a 1-4 flat, and they try to pop a big, race the ball and get it to the other end. Really well done by Meshack.
Got a lane violation. So he'll get another chance at it. Meshack with 6.
Boog, in a game like this with short turnaround, you've got to remind your guys in the huddle, I can't tell you everything they're going to run. Just buck up and guard your guy. You know, take it personally.
That jump roll goal for Trey White. Adu off the feed from Kamwa. Ellis, pass intercepted by Meshack. 12th turnover on USC. That's really been the story in this game. Tennessee with 12 points off USC turnovers.
Rick Barnes adjusting his set now with a 10 to go on the shot clock against this zone. Got a ball screen up top, trying to get Ziegler downhill.
Ziegler off the mark. Kobe Johnson kicks up ahead to Trey White. Boogie for the last shot. Got it!
I think it's worth repeating. Boogie, woogie, woogie till you just can't boogie no more. And when you got a guy that can just go get you one, late clock, that step back ability, comes off a little dribble handoff, because Vescovi's right in his grill, and Boogie Ellis just elevates a big basket. I'm telling you, more times than not, when a team throws in a shot right before the half, remember that shot with about a minute to go in this game.
37-34 at the half. They'll be back with first half highlights, stats, and more coming up. You're watching ESPN's Beast Week, presented by Lowe's. Today we bring you the Bad Boy Mowers Battle for Atlantis here in the Bahamas. We get ready for second half action. Number 22 Tennessee leading by 3. And welcome courtside, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. John Shambi and Jimmy Dykes. Good first half. The winner of this one gets Kansas in our championship game. And USC was able to hang around. Boogie Ellis had himself a really nice first game against BYU. And even though he was saddled with some foul trouble here, came up with a really good first half.
Yeah, but his head coach did a good job of sitting him down, calming him down, managing the game, and then putting him back in and trusting his own defense and trusting that Boogie Ellis could play offense and not pick up the third, which he did a magical job of doing. Now, Southern Cal has made some tough shots, some tough step backs. If you're Tennessee, you got to play through those tough makes. But Boogie Ellis right now, like you said, is been on fire when you consider 15 points. He only played a little over 12 minutes. And that last buzzer-beating 3 before the half, remember it with a minute or 2 to go. It's crazy how impactful those shots are at the end of a ball game.
All right, we take a look at our first half stats brought to you by Complete Sports Management and Phillips and Ellis. 2 guys we highlighted in the open. Phillips with 13, Ellis with 15. Phillips a freshman, and Ellis the senior.
Now, the only thing Julian Phillips didn't do in that first half was rebound the basketball. Another area of growth for him with only 2 boards. Tennessee was out-rebounded overall by 6. I'm sure that number was discussed by Rick Barnes and his guys. Shot clock never moved.
Tony Padilla, Bert Smith, Owen Short, our officiating crew. And Bert Smith will head over to the scorer's table. And Bert is saying, what is going on over here?
He was watching the replay of our first game today on his phone.
Instant classic.
Those forwards for Southern Cal, they'll lift up high and make it tough to throw it to the corners on you. That ball's got to get inside that zone at that free throw line area or a short corner, either one. Good cut.
Vescovi knocks it down.
Shoot the ball on our terms, not the defense's terms. Every head coach knows what I'm talking about when I say that, and that was a shot by Tennessee on our terms with a short corner pass and an off-ball cut by Vescovi. Watch Vescovi up here, up top. He's just going to be the guy that eventually makes that hard cut through that zone. Cut, bam, there it is. On time, on target, well done.
You're like an artist with that telestrator.
It's a new toy for me.
I get a hold of that thing and I just write, Boog was here.
No, Boogie was here. Yeah, you're Boogie to me from now on.
All right. Vescovi inside. Good hands by the balls, out of bounds, and it ends up being a turnover number 4. Peterson gets it over. Trey White will try and hit.
Good job by Trey White to have better feet discipline on that shot, because he took one in the first half with one of his shoes on the line. Just really good awareness of where his feet were on the catch.
Bobchit short on that shot. Out of bounds, it stays with Tennessee. Tied at 39. Just getting going here, second half. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. John Chumby, Jimmy Dykes here in the Bahamas. Phillips swings to Key.
Man-to-man on the out-of-bounds under. I don't think Tennessee recognizes it.
Shot clock under 10. Vescovi. Kamwa inside. And a rebound pulled down by Trey White.
There's not a lot of movement by Tennessee against man-to-man defense on the out-of-bounds under. And Southern Cal comes out to start the second half much more aggressive.
He sticks and Waters aggressively to the bucket.
Sticks and Waters, a kid that 16 points last year versus Miami in the NCAA tournament, so he's got some wired to score ability about him as well. There's a lot of talent, a lot of different options for Andy Enfield in his lineup. I know Boogie and Drew lead him in scoring, but the other guys are capable of getting to double figures.
Sticks and Waters, native of Long Beach, at 13 in the win over BYU. Phillips inside of it, knocked away. Peterson up ahead, and Ellis. White was looking for the lob to Ellis, but they got it back. And Peterson on the smaller Vescovi. And that'll go. Too small, says Drew Peterson. A 9-0 USC run, and the Trojans lead it by 4. Bobchit and 1.
That's what you want out of Plopchich in the middle of that zone. No more of those little 8-foot tough floaters. Take that thing to the rack without hesitation. Watch Plopchich catch it. Ain't no floater in that game right there. Enough of that 10-foot hard jump shot. Catch it, no bounce, attack. He's a brute, man. Talking about Euros Plopchich. What are they listing? 7 foot and 260, something like that?
Yep.
He's all of it.
7'1", 265.
Man. He's grown since I made my chart. 5 pounds and an inch.
Slip. Great look as Morgan puts it in.
Morgan really sold it because he was pointing, throw it outside, throw it outside, throw it outside, knowing all along he was going to slip the action. What's Morgan what I'm talking about right here? He's going to signal, I got this guy pinned on the inside. He just slips it. It looks like he's trying to pin the shooter in, knowing the entire time that lane area was opened up.
Foul on Morgan, that's his third, so he grabs a seat. To Johnny Wright into the game. Adu lost the handle, Peterson. Right inside, jump hook wouldn't go. Adu, and a foul on USC. Our first media timeout of the second half. Andy Enfield's USC Trojans with a 4-point advantage. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Lowe's. It's the best place to get everything you need for the holidays.
Right now.
How about that?
And you never know, man, the fight level of teams, it's hard to put a number on when you're watching film and breaking them down. The game starts, you're like, these guys won't go away.
Yeah.
Much like Wisconsin today down 15 against Kansas.
But again, Wisconsin looks to be a really
Wisconsin.
good team.
They look to be Wisconsin. Exactly who they are. Well, Southern Cal this year, they're built differently. They're playing a lot of 4 guards around 1 post player. Without all those bigs now that have left the program for NBA or whatever. But they're still with a rebounding advantage playing with.
Vescovy can't hit, loose ball. Still fighting for it, Phillips. And timeout, Tennessee. The USC bench wanted to travel.
Tennessee may have been better off having a jump ball because the possession arrow favors them, but they burned a timeout to save the possession.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody, and Grandpa's macaroni and cheese on the table for Boogie Ellis and USC. Trojans lead it by 4. But chipped out, Adu able to collect it, and then Ziegler lost it.
That zone defense has stifled Tennessee from the 3-point line. The Volunteers have only attempted 7 threes in this game. You would think against the zone they would get some free looks. But it's a spread out zone, not afraid to give Tennessee's bigs that open 12, 15-foot jump shot in the middle.
Trey White can't hit. And Zakai Ziegler pushes up to Vescovy, back to Ziegler.
And Ziegler flipped the game, changed the pace, changed the momentum for Tennessee. That's what he comes off the bench to do with just under 15 to go in this game.
And one.
Grown man drive and finish by Julian Phillips.
The freshman taking it to the rack, absorbs the contact. He's got 15.
What did he do in the first half? He got himself in this spot and started trying to twist and spin out of it. Rick Barnes probably told him at the next time out, that won't work at this level. You drive in there, you better find the contact and play through it. And Julian Phillips starting to emerge as one of the super freshmen that we'll see this year in the SEC. This has been a matchup all afternoon, has it not? Vescovy and Drew Peterson.
Yeah, no doubt.
Neither one will give an inch to the other.
Peterson only with 4. Came in averaging 16. And right there, Vescovy charged with the foul, his second. And Vescovy giving up about 6 inches and 20 pounds or so.
Keep your eye on Boogie Ellis. He's the trigger guy taking it out of bounds under. He could run right back into a shot or some type of action like Bill Self does with his point guard. He inbounds it.
Big shot just wouldn't fall for Peterson.
Why would Boogie Ellis foul at the midcourt stripe against Zakai Ziegler, who you're not going to take the ball from in the open floor? That's a very important play right there. That's just there's no reason to try to make that gamble steal. You're too valuable. You played through foul trouble in the first half, but you just gave one to yourself. The poor judgment.
So he's got 3, and we'll see how long he sits. USC, Ellis, Wright, and Morgan all with 3 fouls. Ziegler inside, Adu flips it in, and Tennessee has the lead.
I talked about Ziegler's ability to flip the game, and he finally sticks his nose in the defensive crack in that zone and finds Adu.
White pulls up.
Tough shot. What a pass.
Wide open look there, and Dixon Waters not able to knock it down.
That was a sweet pass, though, by Peterson.
Ziegler. And Phillips a rebound. Vescovy. That was way short.
And now 1 out of 9, I believe, or 1 out of 9 from the 3-point line for the Volunteers.
Peterson gives off. Dixon Waters. Oh, good feed. Baseline. Johnson, though, couldn't hit.
Good job by Adu to rotate over and move his body with the offensive player to stay off of it.
Ziegler feed inside, stripped away. Boogie Ellis is back at the scorer's table. The Trojans are 0 for their last 6 from the floor.
This is about a foot difference between Ziegler and Peterson.
Yeah, they got Peterson over the back. That's his first. Tennessee by a point, 12:03 to go. The winner gets Kansas in our championship.
Ziegler's the kind of defender, Boog, that if you told him you've got Peterson for the rest of the game, I know he's a foot taller than you, there would be no back down, no blink, no hesitation, because he just completely denied Peterson on the box off.
He gives off Kamwa to Ziegler. From way downtown, and he drills it.
Yeah, the guy you sometimes forget about. All your attention's on Ziegler and Vescovy. And Key has transferred in and given Rick Barnes another jump shooter on the perimeter.
And Key almost stepped in for a steal and a breakaway.
Zakai Ziegler, though, has kind of changed the speed of the game and the aggressiveness for the Volunteers. Right there, attack the zone. Draw 2 white jerseys, find another orange jersey. Volunteers back on top by 4.
Back here in the Bahamas, Tennessee leading it by 4. John Chumby, Jimmy Dykes, 11:28 to go. And Kansas in a magnificent game, edging Wisconsin 69-68. Greg Gard's team was really impressive. Final in overtime, Bobby Pettiford, his only 2 points of the game came as he collected a rebound and in one motion spun it off the glass after the Zach Clements miss. And that ended up being the difference as the clock expired.
Boog, I like teams that fix the problem within the game. And Tennessee was being out-rebounded by 6 in the first half. Look up in the second half. They're now plus 6 themselves on the glass. Well, good teams, they don't wait till the next day to figure out the problem.
Johnson not able to hit. The scoring drought for USC is over 5 minutes now.
Ziegler get inside that zone and make a play.
Oh, and I think they got Morgan, and if they did, that's his 4th.
It all starts, though, with the ability and the doggedness of Ziegler to get inside that zone and play off of 2 feet. Maybe got arm, got a lot of ball, but maybe enough arm, obviously, for Morgan to pick up his 4th foul.
Kama has 8 points and 5 rebounds. This is his first free throw. And knocks it in. It'll be a Kama 64% from the line in his career.
But Blake Morgan's going to have to sit. That's a former Big West Defensive Player of the Year at Long Beach State as a freshman. I think he's a real key for Andy's team this year if the Pac-12 is going to be involving Southern Cal in the fight.
Goes again on 6 minutes without scoring for Andy Enfield's team. USC down right now by 6. Shack on Peterson. Good look inside, and the bucket for Kajani Wright facilitated by Peterson.
Yeah, you got 2 on the ball on Peterson. He left the guy naked on the low block for an easy 2.
And that ends that scoring drought for USC.
Southern Cal shooting 45% from the floor in this game. That's really good considering Tennessee comes in only giving 35%. On the defensive end.
Key in and out. Meshack the rebound. He can't hit. Kama, big rebound. And back out to Ziegler, who will set it up. Ziegler gets a piece of the paint, flips it up, wouldn't fall, out of bounds, and it belongs to USC. Adu switches out on Peterson, and he gets hammered and goes down to the floor.
Yeah, Tennessee was icing or down on that ball screen, and Peterson fought his way out of it. Got the mismatch that he wanted with Adu. A 5 on a 2 is what Peterson actually is as a 2 guard. Peterson's going to win that one-on-one battle in that middle third.
17 fouls on USC this half for Tennessee.
It's just a lot of person that checks in when Plavsic steps on the floor. Is it not?
Yeah.
That's just a lot of people in one uniform.
Ellis going to work on Plavsic. Peterson. Up and under, and one.
He is really, really clever with that basketball. And he can foot fake you and kind of get you leaning. Tyler Wall from Wisconsin's got some similar stuff about him. But he just took the freshman to school. Phillips opens up his hips, and then from that point, once Peterson gets to that restricted arc, it's game over. He sticks that pivot foot, that left pivot foot, spins into a really easy shot in front of the rim.
How about that roll? And it's a one-point game.
I think Peterson's really good. I mean, you and I have watched him now for a game and a half. 41% three-point shooter last year. And he and Ellis now, that's two guys that can go for 25 or 30.
Ziegler flips that one in.
Just a guy making a play. 3 or 4 times a half, you have to have that in your arsenal.
Boogie Ellis going to work. He's got 17. Those are his first 2 points of the second half.
If you pick up Ellis full court and you let him get out in front of you, it's his advantage.
And the throwdown dunk from Reese Dixon-Waters. USC leads it by a point. Dixon-Waters with 5. Plavcic, and the follow by Phillips. 18 for the freshman. Back and forth we go.
Yeah, it's another semifinal game in battle for Atlanta. This thing's going to go down to the last minute, if not the last possession. Neither team showing the ability or to give into to allow separation. USC had a couple of key baskets. Boogie Ellis just with a blow-by in the full court. Scores by a ball by himself in the first 3 seconds of possession. Then Plavcic just gets chewed up to give the Trojans the lead, but then right back. Uros Plavcic, no. Julian Phillips, yes. Freshman number 2, major impact today.
Back here, the Bad Boy Mowers battle for Atlanta. Semifinal number 2. We got 7:15 to go, and it's Tennessee by a point. Winner gets Kansas, who beat Wisconsin in a barn burner. This is how the game ended. Clements off the mark, rebound tip. Pettiford grabs it, puts it in. Unbelievable. Probably the smallest guy on the court. His only 2 points of the game. And that is how Kansas escapes with a win.
I think it was the game of the year. I know that was the play of the year so far in college basketball.
Pretty great.
Consider what was at stake, and he comes sprinting in from about 28 feet out, and the reverse English backwards going away from the rim to finish off, and the Kansas Jayhawks sit there waiting on the winner of this one, which is TBD with 7:15 to go.
Jalen Wilson was excellent with 29 points, a game high. Wall and DeSiegen were tremendous for Wisconsin. Shot clock winding down. That short put back wouldn't go, and the rebound pulled down by Phillips.
Well, Phillips is doing it all now. 18 points, and that's his 6th rebound. Hasn't committed a turnover. As I say that,
You just jinxed him, Jimmy.
how crazy is that? Glanced down for a second to see that he had to have a turnover, and he turns it over.
Some Tennessee fan right now.
Light me up on Twitter.
Yeah, or just at home, Peterson throws it down. He's got 9, all of them in the second half.
So dangerous this time of year, those baseline out-of-bounds under boot, because you can't scout it all. Things are coming at you too quickly in the short turnaround. You just got to lock up and tag people, and can't let a guy roll unclean.
I remember working with Bob Knight, and he said all his years at Texas Tech, all he played was zone out of bounds.
Because of that.
Just because of that. So you're not sitting there scouting 9 zillion out of bounds plays.
Exactly. You're not sitting next to Bob Knight today, but I can just tell you this. That Drew Peterson just stands there completely uncovered. I mean, that was a breakdown from when the ball was given to the out-of-bounds trigger guy.
I would just also like to finish up and say, I actually wish we had the power to jinx things, because if we did, Jimmy, I would leave this game right in the middle of it. Right now, 6:17 to go, and take you with me to Vegas.
Yes.
If we had that ability, I'm
Yes.
out of here. We just need to go to the casino here.
Yeah, some people think we do, but we have no input at all on what happens on the floor. Pretty much like a coach.
Yeah.
Man, another tight one. You will find two better semifinal games than what we've had today.
This has been fun. And a turnover. Peterson threw it away. He was trying to find Johnny Wright.
This zone has been really good to Southern Cal. Volunteers only 2 out of 12 from that three-point line. It's a really high, spread out, wide zone.
Good hands there. Kobe Johnson deflects it out of bounds. 8 on the shot clock. 5:42 to go. We're tied at 56. Andy Enfield and USC taking on number 22, Tennessee.
Ziegler's going to have to get inside this zone. Remaining 5:42 of the game. Why would you foul when you got Tyreek Key locked down and you reach into double team with 5 on the shot clock? Just a grab by Peterson, was it not?
Yes. And Key rattles it home. Tennessee has the lead. He's got 7.
This kid was out all last year at Indiana State with shoulder surgery. That exhibition game when Tennessee knocked the Zags down by 19 points, he had 26.
Let's see if they can get Boogie Ellis going. He's got 17, but only 2 since the break.
Well, if I'm Tennessee, I don't switch Ziegler off of Boogie Ellis for any circumstance at all. Got him on a back cut.
In and out, and Ellis draws the foul, and Boogie will shoot 2.
Ziegler was fighting so hard to keep Ellis from getting the ball up top. And Ellis read it to perfection. Took Ziegler 1 step higher. Boom, then a hard cut right down the gut. He exploded last year, Boog, in that Pac-12 tournament with 27 points against UCLA in the semifinals. Then he only played 14 minutes versus Miami in that NCAA because of an ankle injury. USC may have advanced in that
one. 58 apiece. And a corner 3. He couldn't get it to go, and the rebound ripped away by Dixon Waters. Here come the Trojans trying to take the lead. Feed to Wright, give off White. The throwdown wouldn't go. Loose ball, and it ends up with Phillips. Key. And Ellis pushing. Boogie Ellis to Trey White, and puts it in. USC has the lead.
Boy, that overall team speed of USC just flooded the floor in transition, winning the run game and giving them a 2-point lead. And Boogie Ellis just brings that ball up with some force. But out in front of the play, I believe it was Trey White who finished it off. He missed a 3 on one end, and bam, USC says, we're off and running. Boogie Ellis has another gear, but Trey White out in front of the play. And you look up, Southern Cal with a 2-point lead.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Bad Boy Mowers. Builds a better mower, mow with an attitude. By Atlantis, Paradise Island, Bahamas at heart. And Complete Sports Management, see the world through our eyes.
Do you mow with an attitude?
I do mow with attitude. I probably shouldn't admit this. I've never mowed a lawn in my life.
What? Wait a minute. What?
I'm getting screamed at in the truck. I've never mowed a lawn in my life.
Oh, my goodness. Are we going to have to talk tonight over
I don't
dinner?
even know how to turn the thing on.
Oh, my gosh, Boogie.
And you have to prime it or something? I got no idea. Ever. A rider or a push mower. Never.
We're going to have a serious talk at dinner tonight for Thanksgiving.
I mean, I can ride the 4 train. You know what I mean? I had to ride the subway.
Tennessee came in making 9 3-point shots per game. They're 2 out of 14 in this one. That Southern Cal zone has been big and long on the perimeter.
Vescovy pulls down a big rebound. Tennessee down by 2. Ziegler back to Vescovy. Ball fake, step back. Just has not been able to find the range today. Santiago Vescovy.
Now 2 out of 15 as a team. Vescovy 0 for 5 from distance.
Peterson with the smaller Ziegler on him. Feed inside and quick hands. White ends up with it and he puts it in.
Hasn't he been a guy that you don't run a play for and he just makes the play? 3 or 4 times in this game, 22 and White just comes up with the ball and sticks it in.
And there's Phillips with the bucket.
That's the guy that needs to be playing inside that zone at that free throw line. Now the zone offense looks a lot different with Phillips shooting a 15-footer as opposed to Plotkin or Adu. Boy, Ellis is quick, isn't he, when he decides to go?
Rebound pulled down by Adu. Calls down a couple.
Get Phillips again, flashing to the middle.
Conwood double team. Kick out. Ziegler thought about it. Gets inside, flips it up, rattles out.
Such a hard shot. Talked about it yesterday. Those floaters in college are converted at about a 37% rate.
USC up by a couple with the basketball. 2:16 to go, second half. The winner gets Kansas. And a Phil Knight invitation on the women's side. Number 8, North Carolina. Number 18, Oregon. And then number 5, Iowa State taking on Michigan State. That's at 7:30. Both those games on the U.
Boogie, look at Southern Cal. 73 wins over the last 3 years is the best run in program history. I mean, Andy Infield's got that thing clicking right now on the West Coast. But this team's built different. All those big guys that become lottery picks have gone, and it's a guard-oriented lineup. I mean, Drew Peterson's 6'9", but he's still a guard. And the ability to adapt to your personnel and change how you play, there's no better testament to how good it is. The next changing it up, what Andy's done. He's 2-16 away from getting a huge win for not only USC, but for the Pac-12.
Ellis with Ziegler on him, harassing him. Peterson looking for space, jumper, short. Vescovy corrals the loose ball. Wow, heady play.
Yeah.
Double dribble, and Ziegler scrambled to get it. And now the feed, Adu wouldn't go. Trojans by a couple. Peterson now. Peterson lost his footing. Kamwa.
There was contact. Vescovy hit the deck. Officials all looked at each other, no call, and play on.
There's Phillips as he finds Kamwa inside. The easy deuce.
The offense is
tied up.
The offense is so much better with Phillips at that high post. He's a jump shot threat, and now he's a pass threat. It looks so much better the last 2.5 minutes. Did Tennessee wait too late to put him there? I don't know. Zone offense working better now for the Vols.
Our 6th tie of the game. 62 apiece, 52.8 to go. Let's send it back to the studio on Zubin Mehenti.
Coming up next here on ESPN2, Iowa State's got the stingiest defense in America. We'll see what Eric Dixon and Villanova, off to an uneven 2-2 start, can do. It's under 4 minutes away. Hoops all day, fellas.
All right. We still got to sort this one out. The winner plays Kansas in our championship game. Loser will get Wisconsin.
Well, what has Southern Cal been going to time after time in this game? It's been Drew Peterson or Boogie Ellis. Both of those guys have been terrific in one-on-one situations. Boogie Ellis has another gear that he can actually get some separation against Ziegler if that's the matchup. And Drew Peterson and Vescovy have just been going blow for blow. Now, how the officials officiate this last 52.8, because there has been a ton of contact one-on-one, especially in the second half, that has gone uncalled. I'm not saying right or wrong. That's the flavor, the style of the game that's been officiated right now. And if you're USC, man, there's nothing else. Try to get yourself to that free throw line.
Trojans 7 for 8 from the line. Tennessee 14 of 17.
And you get a stop when you need a stop. That's how championships are won.
Peterson, shot clock at 10. Peterson can't hit. Tennessee the rebound.
Big time cleanup on the backside by Julian Phillips.
8 rebounds for Phillips to go along with 21 points.
I believe Rick Barnes is going to take this thing down late. And a 2 seconds differential between the shot clock and the game clock. If you're Tennessee, you're thinking at worst we're going to go to overtime.
Timeout Tennessee. I know that you have liked when they run the possessions and with USC in the zone, getting the ball to Phillips in that high post area.
Yeah, the last 3 minutes, that's been really good stuff. But Tennessee now is going to come out of this with only 7 seconds to work with on the shot clock. So there's probably between 2.5 and 3 seconds between the shot clock and the game clock. And just like we saw in the first matchup, Boog, it's not the first shot that mostly wins the ball game, it's the second shot. You got offensive rebounders on the glass for Tennessee and guys like Adu. If you're Southern Cal, you're talking about a lot of things, but protecting that nail area from a Julian Phillips flash, knowing where Vescovy is, although he's struggled, he's a guy that wants to take big shots late. And then in that zone, if we're continuing to play zone, which I anticipate they will, you have got to crash down and get all 5 white jerseys on that defensive glass.
USC in the middle of a scoreless drought of 3 minutes and 11 seconds.
But Tennessee's out of timeout, so whatever they draw up right now, it has to work. This ball's got to get in and get a good shot up and then fly orange jerseys to the glass and see who wins the war when the ball's above the rim. You could screen the top of this right here and get Ziegler going downhill as well.
Timeout USC. Kansas awaiting the winner of this one. They won it over Wisconsin 69-68 in overtime. It's the Bad Boy Mowers battle for Atlanta's championship tomorrow night, 7:30 Eastern on ESPN.
Tyreek Key just checked in for Tennessee. Tennessee's only made 2 threes today, but he's made one of them, and Phillips has made one. It looked to me like when Tennessee came out of the last time out, it was going to be a ball screen up top for Ziegler getting him downhill where Adu was positioned. Andy Enfield probably saw the same thing. But now you've got 2 guys on the floor. Kamwa can also make a 3. But see if Ziegler up top, Boog, doesn't work off of a ball screen and get inside that zone.
Vescovi to inbound, about 3 seconds difference, shot clock to game clock. Ziegler going to work, give off, Vescovi deep, wouldn't go, loose ball, and a shot clock violation.
They just tried to run a dribble out action for Vescovi to get him freed up for 3. They have not shot the ball well at all from the 3-point line. Surprised that it wasn't getting Ziegler more downhill instead of a drive out for a 3-point shot.
Yeah, Vescovi 0 for 6 now from 3.
Well, there's plenty of time for Boogie Ellis.
3.2, they put a little time on there.
He for sure has 3 speed dribbles into a shot if he wants.
Peterson launches, and we're going overtime. How about that? One semifinal, now another semifinal. End of regulation. It is 62 apiece, USC and Tennessee. And we'll be back with the extra session. Happy Thanksgiving. Back here at the Imperial Arena, John Chambee and Jimmy Dykes. Hope you're having a great Thanksgiving as we get ready for our Buffalo Wild Wings overtime. The Iowa State-Villanova game is over on ESPN News. So if you tuned in looking for that, that's where it is. And as soon as our game is over, we'll have Iowa State and Nova coming at you.
Very impressive that kid right there has played from the opening, 5 or 6 minutes of the first half. He had 2 fouls, and now you look up, he's only had 3. He's played aggressively without getting into severe foul trouble. Talking about Boogie Ellis. We start overtime with only 2 guys in foul trouble, Morgan and Wright from Southern Cal. Tennessee with no one really in foul trouble.
So 5 minutes of extra basketball. It looks like Adu and Morgan will jump.
Southern Cal began their season with a double-figure loss at home to Florida Gulf Coast, and since then they've rattled off 4 straight wins. Tennessee's only lost to Colorado. Power conference versus power conference once again in overtime.
Dixon Waters gives off the freshman White. Off his leg, out of bounds, frustrated with himself with that turnover. Turnovers for Andy Enfield's team.
There's Phillips on the flash.
Phillips will try. Can't hit.
Got smoked.
And they'll give him 3 free throws.
Just out of the corner of my eye, but it looked like Peterson just lost his discipline, flying out as a defender and right through Phillips.
And 8 for Phillips. I think he got him. I think we need to stop teaching the shooters to fall down.
It just doesn't work. This kid's been really good now. It's not gonna. It did not take him long to adjust to this level of college basketball.
No, it's true.
And Rick Barnes knows it as well and has called his number in crunch time. I've been just as impressed with his ability to battle on the boards in this game. I believe he leads Tennessee in rebounds as well. At least he's tied, I believe, with Adu. Yep. It's a grown man's game, and he has not backed down from on either end.
Missed the first. Julian Phillips, the number 13 overall recruit in the ESPN 100. And with 3 free throws, a chance after missing the first to make it a 2-point game. And he does. .23 for Phillips. They can find a shot for Ellis, or if he can. Jumper, a little bit strong. And Morgan pulls it down. Back out to White, and they'll set it back up.
Good job by Southern Cal to run down what was a miss off of a tough shot.
Ellis with Ziegler on him. Trying to feed the post and Morgan. And rattles it in.
Good hands by Morgan to go down and pick it up in traffic.
Morgan with the bucket. Adu had the rebound and then it was knocked away by Dixon Waters. And they go offensive foul. He tried the Euro step.
Ziegler is so good as a open floor transition defender. He just gets his body set and stays there and takes the blow-up shot to his chest. Boog on this end, Tennessee's zone offense. They're getting the ball to Phillips. They need another shooter on the wing because he's got 2 bigs down low. The wings are open, but there's just no one on the wing spot to shoot it.
Ziegler inside, lost the handle. Under 3 to go. And we're tied at 64.
Man, take care of the ball and get it shot up right now for both ball clubs.
Peterson turned it over. Here's Phillips. Gets bumped on the floor. And a foul on Peterson.
You know, Morgan wasn't really sure what he was going to do out of that ball screen because he sets the screen and then he's trying to dive. It's drop coverage. There's nowhere to go. And Peterson kind of just anticipates where Morgan was going to be instead of making sure that he was there. A costly turnover. I'm not a fan of guys that make a bad pass and blame where were you. He's played a beautiful basketball game, but Peterson, that was on him.
Freshman Phillips has had himself a nice day. Rattles it home, he's got 25. And Tyreek Key will check back in. As they go smaller, Adu will sit.
Well, so now Rick Barnes will have an offense where there will be a shooter on the wing when that ball goes to the high post. It will be a different look next time down for Southern Cal. Now to readjust their zone too. Best to be wearing the same jersey as Peterson on that far side. Complete denial.
Ellis, baseline jumper, got it.
Yeah, good defense, better offense. Pat him on the butt and keep playing.
Boogie with 21. Vescovy, another chance at it. Gets it.
He's going to make the ones where he shot fakes first. I've watched him play too many games. He's almost better as a shot fake into a sidestep than just a pure catch and shoot. Huge basket for the Volunteers.
The lead is 3. Out of bounds, it stays with USC.
Well, that's hard action to cover, Boog. That side step-up ball screen, naked empty corner for Boogie Ellis to work off of. Tennessee very fortunate to get a hand on the ball to force that thing to the corner.
Peterson to inbound, 10 on the shot clock. And Andy Enfield called timeout.
Boy, 2 back-to-back. Big shots. One from Southern Cal's Boogie Ellis. He was guarded about as well as you can be guarded. Ty Ziegler, this is one-on-one, old school, Shirts versus Skins. Shirts on defense does a good job. Skins on offense. Just a little bit better on the play. And then Vescovy, watch. He's going to get a shot fake into his 3. The ball gets reversed. It stays hot. Shot fake, sidestep, dial it up, release, rotation, result. And that's where we are right now. Tennessee with a 3-point lead.
And our Buffalo Wild Wings wild recap. 8 ties in this one, 11 lead changes. The biggest lead of the game, Tennessee, led by as many as 8. And Julian Phillips, the freshman for Tennessee, with a game-high 25. Boogie Ellis with 21. Only 6 in the second half.
I'm a real fan, though, of Boogie Ellis because he doesn't force bad shots. I mean, you take a couple of tough guarded ones, but he's in complete control of his game because he has defensively as good of a defensive guard as there is in the college game. Juwan Harris is right there in that same category with Zakai Ziegler, but man, it is a fist fight right now in that individual matchup, and Vescovy on Drew Peterson. Tough to get it in. Absolutely.
And a turnover, and it belongs to Tennessee. Wow, out of the timeout.
And had they not taken the timeout, they had gotten the ball in cleanly. But Andy Enfield called timeout before the pass was released, and then they come out of it, and they can't get it in. And that dead corner is just the reason why it's called dead.
Take some time here. Try and find a good shot. Ziegler to Phillips. Under a minute to go. Ziegler penetrates. Tries to give off to Kamwa on the ground. Vescovy. Trojans down 3. Boogie Ellis. And they turn it over.
Well, Tennessee, when they switched on that possession, they were high and hot on the switch, given no separation. The ball pressure was tremendous. Right there, Key got picked off, but Vescovi sees it. It comes with hard ball pressure. As a result, the ball's thrown out of bounds. As Vescovi doesn't switch out high and hot, that's a much easier pass to make. The foul's coming, absolutely. Got no other choice. Foul's Kai Ziegler, who comes in this ball game 66% on the year. I've told you before, Boog, in this situation, I want my toughest, most competitive dude to get fouled. Kai Ziegler's at the top of that list for Rick Barnes.
He's a career 82% free throw shooter, 8 out of 12 on the year, and he knocks down the first.
You've got two closeout guards from the free throw line in Vescovi and Kai Ziegler. Vescovi, I still think, is shooting about 90% in the last 4 minutes of a close game from the charity stripe. Just got to get one quick. 2 or 3 doesn't matter. We got to get one quick.
Peterson loses the handle, and that's going to do it.
To me, Vescovi won his one-on-one matchup more than Drew Peterson did today. He made Peterson work his tail off to get to his 9 points. And that on-ball defense by Vescovi was special, and this kid on the offensive end and the rebounding and stepping up to the charity stripe, a coming-out party for Julian Phillips.
It's our Bad Boy Mowers Player of the Game, brought to you by Bad Boy Mowers. Julian Phillips is the guy, 25 points and 8 rebounds. How about USC? 6 turnovers in overtime.
Man, what a final that we're going to have tomorrow between Kansas and Tennessee. Kansas is going to be riding a 17-game winning streak. Tennessee won the SEC tournament title last year. A lot of folks, including myself, feel like Tennessee is still a legitimate threat to get to that Elite 8 game this year, if not beyond, and Kansas is saying it will be a monster matchup tomorrow night in the finals of the Bad Boy Mowers Battle for Atlantis.
So Tennessee wins it in overtime. 73-66, our final score. For my partner, Jimmy Dykes, and our outstanding crew here in the Bahamas, I'm John Shambi. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Time now to send it out to Portland. Kevin Brown, Robbie Hummel, the Phil Knight Invitational.